Awesome. All right.
Sweet as. All right. It's doing our count-in, so we're live now, brother.
All right.
All right. I appreciate you taking the time, Kelly.
Bro, like I said, this is neat. You invited me that first time. It was, like I said, I was honored because I never really talked too much about my fight career shit. And, podcasts are popular, man. Everybody's doing a podcast now. Shit, everybody's got one. So it's kind of cool. I've never done one, and never had done one until then, and I like it. It's kind of neat. I don't socialize. We was talking the other day about not having much of a life outside of you got the bar, your lady on shit, and I take care of my mother, my father best I can, my son stuff. So as far as like actual social life, I don't have that social life. So this is kind of cool to sit chats every once in a while, man.
Yeah. I mean, definitely shoot the shit, talk about some stuff. Some stuff we all have an interest for.
Say what?
Shoot the shit and talk about some stuff we all have some interest for.
Exactly. It's kind of like training. After training, jiu-jitsu, boxing shit, and like lifting, boxing, whatever. At the end of training, everybody sits around, gets ready to go to the house and stuff. We always refer to it as the bullshit session. You ever heard that term?
I remember you mentioned it before, yeah. So we're doing that right now.
Just like now it's like a glorified bullshit session, man. I enjoy it. So.
That's good. We've been friends for a long time. I've always thought highly of you, Kelly.
Same here, brother. I respect the hell out of you, and I like watching people that are somewhere else. I guess you're in Australia, so it's a whole different culture, and I'm curious about that because I'd love to have been in a position in my life to travel the world and see places and stuff like that. So the best I can do is have friends that are somewhere asking questions and shit. So
Well, speaking of traveling, like we were talking about before, I've got my first holiday in a few years and going over the Philippines to see the wife's family and stuff. So like I'm super pumped to finally get some fucking time off, dude. Like I've been working for so long.
Well, I remember you told me
it's been years.
Huh?
It's been years since I've been on holidays.
Damn, that's crazy. Can't run yourself too thin. You gotta enjoy life. It's like, people that make a lot of money, they don't leave enough time to themselves to actually enjoy life and stuff. So that's awesome.
I mean, we're 100% in that situation at the moment. Like there is no enjoying life. We just fucking work. I work 70 hours a week. 7 days a week for 3 years.
Yeah.
And then my wife has 2 jobs.
So how long are you going to be out of the country?
So I've got 2 weeks off, and 1 day before and 1 day after, just to sort of help,
Awesome.
And getting there takes like a day and a half travel, with connecting flights, and then you got to drive and stuff.
Flights and jet lag. I assume there's a time change, right? So you're gonna have to let your body adjust a little bit first.
Well, I mean,
is there a time?
Go on.
No, just so is there a time like difference from I'm trying to think. Philippines, Australia.
They're either 2 hours. I think they're either 2 hours before, but 2 hours ahead of us or 2 hours behind.
Shit, that's not bad. 2 hours, Most time you're looking at like where you're going from, or where you come from, or going to, like being, like you go there and it's daylight when it should be night and shit. So 2 hours shouldn't throw you off too bad. But at the same time, the jet lag and shit, You say it's going to take a day and a half to get there, right?
Yeah, it will take about 36 hours, I think it is, by the time you do your connecting flights, and then you got to drive and your fucking layover and all that, so there's like 3 days worth lost there. Then I've got a day before and day after. So out of the 2 weeks, 5 of it's just lost to nothing.
Damn, that's crazy. But it'd be awesome. Here's the funny thing. So the gym I've always lifted weights out of, and anytime I'm local, was owned by a guy that used to take trips to the Philippines all the time. Well, he eventually, and I never thought, I was like, man, when it happened, I was like, no way. But anyway, he sold the gym and took the money he got from, because he built this gym up. It started out as a place called Dynabody, which is a little hole in the wall. And then he bought this old grocery store that was called, I think, called the Piggly Wiggly or some shit like that, and then turned it into in my opinion, the best gym locally. Then sold it off to some people, and he actually lives in the Philippines now. That's why I was thinking, I was like, man, I need to message him and see if you're anywhere near him and stuff, But he was a different kind of dude, but he's over in the Philippines somewhere,
Enjoying retired life over there, eh?
I reckon, I don't, like I said, I don't ever hear from him. I think I messaged him a few times after he went over there and stuff, but other than that, I ain't really heard from him. But I heard it one time. Started a gym over there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But the thing is, I did understand. I worked with a lady named one time when I was a teacher's aide. Her name was Maria de la Pina. But now her last name she got from a dude of, I think it was Hispanic origin or something. So her name was Maria, and she told me, like, I had a buddy named Zaldi Tabadantan. Or I'm not sure how I'm saying his last is, like Talbon Tom, something like that.
Yeah.
And he was from over there, and I worked with her, and she spoke Filipino, whatever. And so my buddy, we called him Zaldi. We called him Z. He fought out of Four Seasons, and I was like, hey man, just out of curiosity, how you say like good morning or whatever in that language? So he told me, right? So I did my best to get it down, and then I went to work and saw Maria that morning. I was like, hey, I was like, I can't remember. I'm not even going to try because I would butcher it. It's been so long. But when I told her, she's like, oh, he's from a different part of the Philippines. He's what in the U.S. you would consider country. So he had a different lingo. Like she could tell by what he told me to tell her that he was from the country of the Philippines. So,
I thought he was going to send you astray then for a second. I thought he was going to send you astray. Like you were going to say,
yeah, make me say something. No,
yeah.
Z was cool as shit, man. That's back when I was knocking motherfuckers out, so he wasn't gonna fuck with me, I guess. Yeah. Could have, because we were brothers and always will be brothers. That's kind of how the fight game is, we always be brothers. But no, he just told me some stuff, and I went in and I was like, hey, whatever I said, and she's like, oh, your friend in the Philippines, we consider from the country like a redneck.
Yeah.
Just the way he talked and shit. So
yeah.
So that's kind of neat, just, and then no, it wasn't her, but I will say this, and over there, like in that Europe, Philippine, Nepal area. Well, actually, she said this, that vowels aren't like in the states, United States, A-E-I-O-U. They're I, I, they're all soft. So it changes the language a little bit, So as a American, I guess, when you're trying to verbalize the language, you got to remember that, like I said, in America, you're taught from, the doctrine in school that it's A-I-O-U, the vowels, right? And sometimes Y, whatever. But she said that like overseas, it's I, soft shit, as opposed to the prominent A-I-O-U shit. So that helped. But you know what I'm talking about? I mean, I know you're married to.
But I mean, like when I've been over in the Philippines, A lot of the Filipinos, when they speak like American English, you
Yeah.
know, good morning, sir. You know, like they try to put the, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Okay. That's like the most popular term, like
Yeah,
universally understood is like okay.
yeah.
Have you heard that? Yeah,
The
that's
most universal. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
No, well, I mean,
Universal
um,
terms is like okay and shit like that. But yeah. But
the uh, the good thing about the Philippines is most people can speak at least pidgin English. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah, just it makes it easy getting around. Most people are pretty friendly. I found like even traveling around, driving and that, most people would see me driving and they'd be like, "Ah, Americano." So they'd be checking underneath all the other cars looking for drugs or whatnot, and
Yeah.
they see me and they're like, "Ah, Americano, you're right, go through." Because every white guy's Americano over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it over there. Um, it's been nearly 10 years since I've been over there. I got fucking heaps of good Philippine stories. Um, some of them I won't share, but I'll share one good one. The first time I went to the Philippines, right? I was staying in this little boarding house, and I was out the front. And at the time, I used to smoke, right? So
Yeah.
we're out the. I was just shooting shit with the guy that owned the place, and
Funny you said
uh,
that, dude. I'm getting ready to do that thing. But anyway, go ahead.
yeah, yeah, go for it. Yeah, he was like, oh, do you want to come and have some fresh fish? My brother, he's got a whole heap of fresh fish. You just got to bring some beer and that. And I'm thinking, yeah, well, fucking, I'm keen for some beer anyway. So I was just like, yeah, sweet as. So we jump in his car, roar down, fucking, we're driving down a main highway, but then we pull off this little side part, right? And then we jump out, and then we're walking down these back streets through like a squatting area. You know what I mean by squatting, like homeless area, right? So
Yeah.
I'm in the fucking Philippines, right? Walking through this homeless area. I'm thinking, where the fuck are these guys taking me? So we're walking through, blah blah blah, all this like little, side little dingy stores and little homeless encampments and that. And we get out, right, and there's this like rickety boardwalk thing that goes out onto this nice house, right in the middle of a squatting area that's sitting over the ocean. So we go into there and yeah, I get in there
Sketchy
and
as
we're all sketchy as fuck, dude. And I'm sitting there and they're all speaking, in their language. I have no idea what anyone's saying. And they're all sort of sitting back and texting their phones and looking up at me. And I'm just thinking, what the fuck did I get myself into here? You know what I mean? But yeah, and they ended up being great, man. They ended up being real good, and like we ended up having a fat time, and they were shouting me beers. I didn't even have to bring the beer; they were shouting me beers.
yeah.
And yeah, I was talking to one of them, and I sort of said how I was like a little bit concerned when I turned up, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you wouldn't have made it through here without us."
Yeah.
The only reason they won't touch you is because you're with us, but you wouldn't be able to walk through. And I'm like, yeah, I could see that. You know.
I want to take my boy to Philadelphia
Yeah.
to kind of go on like a rocket tour, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if you've seen anything about it, but Kensington, which is in
Kensington.
Philadelphia.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
so
Yep.
it's like a neighborhood, right? An area in Philadelphia, Kensington, which
Yeah.
a lot of the Rocky stuff was shot in. Dude,
Yep.
there's been a lot of videos online where people are down there and they're on some kind of drug. It's like turn them into zombies. So one, Kensington during the day is sketchy. Two,
Mm.
you don't want to be down in Kensington unless you're from that
Mm.
area. Well, even if you're from that area, you won't be down there. But two, definitely don't be an out towner in Kensington at
Mm.
night. So
Mm.
it's really gotten down. It's really went downhill, and Kensington's is just real rough. Like I said, that's the heart of where a lot of the scenes from Rocky come from, and uh, you know, like the two Creed, is it two or three Creed movies, whatever it is, two Creed movies I think or something. But the gym Creed, Adonis Creed, whatever fought out of, is the 4th Street Gym down that area. And you can actually do a drop-in session at the time. Is like $5 or $10 to drop into the 4th Street Gym and train. So I want to do all this stuff, man. But then I started seeing all this stuff about Kensington. You just don't want to be around Kensington and stuff. So sure shit, didn't want to take my son down there. It's one thing to be a dude and expect some trouble, but if you got your child with you, that's it's not a situation you want to put yourself in,
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. So that whole area where the original Rocky movie was filmed, that's a bit of a rough area, right?
Not the whole area. The avenue leading up to the museum.
Where he runs up the stairs
that's
and
not
that?
Kensington, but
okay.
Like Mickey's, the gym, that little building, that's down in Kensington. And it was
his house as well.
Huh?
His original house. That's Kensington.
Yeah, the apartment place. That's down in Kensington, deep down in Kensington and stuff. Close to railroad tracks is Kensington, but like the gym, Mickey's gym, was actually the last thing it was called Mimi's Dollar Store, and it was just a lower level, and obviously like a place to get cheap goods and stuff. That's down in Kensington. The restaurant from the Rocky Balboa movie, Adrian's, is actually I think it was a Russian eatery that you needed reservations for, and it wasn't all the Rocky paintings on the wall. Of course, they transitioned it for the movie and stuff, but it's it's still they got live music, really good food, and art on the walls, but it's not Rocky like John Rivioli, I think his name is. I'm friends with him on Facebook. He's cool as shit. Him and Frank Stallone is cool as shit, man. He's awesome. His nickname that Sylvester's always had for him, he calls him Frank the Bank. He's all got that money, man. He actually does a lot of singing and guitar playing and stuff like that. He's cool as shit. But but him and they're all still real good friends, like Rivoli and Frank and Sylvester and stuff and everything. Of course, Sylvester's busy as shit, so but he still drops in on some of Frank's posts, and then see him with Rivoli and shit like that and everything. So I'm probably saying that name wrong, but
I mean, to talk about someone that bet everything on themselves, I mean, he really made it happen with that first Rocky movie, because he went from fucking working in a cinema to being on the screen.
Well, with that, you remember Butkus, right?
Yes, the dog that
he's the story.
Yeah, I do.
Selling Butkus,
for
$30-$40 or something, and then after he had the success with the first Rocky, where he wrote the screenplay, wanted to star in it, nobody wanted to fucking touch it. They finally picked it up. He made that money and went back to get Butkus. I think the guy charges him $10,000 for Butkus, but he paid it.
Yeah. So I mean, this is the thing. They really wanted the movie. But they really wanted not him to be in it.
Right.
So, and then he was they offered him a lot of money. I can't remember exactly how much, but it was a lot of money.
It was a lot. Where a lot of people would just walk away and say, "Okay,"
Yeah.
But he, like you said, he was very passionate about the script, and
Yeah. So
to hear him talk about it, even a fucking boxing movie, it's a love story,
Yeah, definitely.
Pretty much is, I mean.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look how it ends. With him calling out for her and that.
Dude, I thought for sure Talia Shire had passed away in Balboa because he wrote her out. So I was like, oh my God, my buddy Bear, I wrestled with. We both love Rocky and stuff, and I messaged him like, oh my God, Talia Shire's passed away. Rocky Balboa. He's like, she didn't. I'm like, what? He's like, no, and now I looked it up, and he just wrote her out because it made sense at that time in the story, that he would be going through something like that, and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, just needed like an emotional pull.
There you go, yeah. So
yeah, I mean, and like all, yeah, he's had a pretty. You could only imagine like the wildlife that man's lived. You know, like
Stallone.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
but look at him now, man. Hey, his daughters, they're fucking beautiful. I wouldn't say it's
Oh,
his face probably, but
smoke shows.
God, dude,
Yeah.
between him and that girl he was married to, man, they're all like
Mm,
perfect and stuff. And
yeah. I mean, he's pushing 80, and he still looks great. Like he's still ticking over. You know, like he's still yeah.
look, so you know a lot about him too. Do you remember when he went down to Australia and got busted with the HGH on the plane coming
Yes, I
out?
do. Yeah, I
Right?
do.
Yeah. So, yeah. And he got a little slap on the wrist, blah blah and shit. What you get? What you getting? I got my glasses on so I can see it. What you getting? Some rocky shit. Careful.
So,
I was
here we are.
I saw that there.
Rambo.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, man, life size.
Dude, I'd be doing some like weird shit, like where not weird shit, but I'm saying like I'd be reenacting scenes from the movie,
Yeah.
and I'd be like talking to him like I was in the fucking movie. I'd be doing some stupid shit like that. I had something like that, dude. So what that set you back?
This was actually not too bad. I bought it off a guy from Brazil,
Yeah.
Edino Maga. So he makes he does a lot of did this one as well, and the bloody Schwarzenegger Predator one that you've seen before. He did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've talked about him coming on the podcast. He was interested, but he wasn't too sure because he can't speak English. I mean, I've got a friend that speaks Portuguese, but I don't know if he was very comfortable about it. So
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Portuguese.
yeah,
Puerto Rican and Spanish crisscross a lot, but Portuguese is different. But
yeah. I had her come on before and help me translate for Fabio Maldonado. You know, the UFC. Yeah.
He's got some broken shit, but
yeah, he just had a fight.
I thought he was gonna do some episodes with you. What the fuck is?
He did one, yeah.
But I thought he was gonna come back on or something. I think.
No, what's going on at the moment, right, is he really wants to get a fight in Australia.
Hey, tell me about that. Hey, here's the thing, dude. I'd fucking not out of meanness or nothing, but I would fucking fight him, man. I'd give him a go. I'd do the best I could, but dude, I'm not nowhere near in fighting shape. Me and my boys trying to get me back in the gym because I've been out of the gym for quite some time with transportation troubles, fucking poisonous spider bites, fucking injuries, man. Shit like that. What the fuck? But yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean,
if he needs a fight and an opponent, I'd go in there and here's the thing, we talked about my fighting and stuff, and when I mentioned the Deontay Wilder thing, here's the thing, I would probably got knocked the fuck out. But as long as I knew that I had a chance to put this on him, then there that is. So, I mean, and look, I'd be like, hey, how you doing, Fabio? Be nice to fight you. Honor. After the fight, probably after he fucking tapped me out, knocked me out, something, I'd be like, hey, good fight, brother, appreciate it. And I'd be like, hey, promoter, can I get that money? I mean, it's like I said, become a whore for the fucking money.
But at least you get to share a ring with a legend. You know what I mean?
I'm saying, dude. And the thing is, like in the States, man, here's the thing, like the local, so in, the United States of America, right? So the state I live in, that part is called Kentucky. And they got what they call the Kentucky Boxing and Wrestling Authority. And it's made up of a bunch of guys that never boxed, never fucking wrestled. All right. So when I try to get a fight, it felt like that Rocky Balboa movie because they was like, well, you need to get a neurological exam, some other scans, and then after that, you're going to come before a board and plead your case to fight. And I was like, dude, did y'all just watch Rocky Balboa? Because that's the shit that happened in that. So then I finally pushed back against him. I said, so here's the thing, you want me to get a neurological exam and some other tests? So who would I tell them to send the bill to? Because thing is, I never made over 1,000 in a fight. I mean, the most I ever made was $1,000.
Mm.
So I told them, I'm like, so when I get this done, do I tell them just directly bill the Kentucky Boxing and Wrestling Authority or whatever? Like, oh no, we're not going to pay for it. I'm like, now here's the thing: if you require something, you got to fucking pay for it.
Mm.
Because these tests are expensive. I've never made enough to cover them. So if you require them, then you got to fucking pay for them. Then all of a sudden it went from, okay, you don't have to do that, but you got to, you don't have to actually do those, but you still got to come through before the board and plead your case. I'm like, you motherfuckers, dude, quit watching so many movies and shit. But anyway, so that's where I'm at. But now I've heard that like Tennessee's more relaxed on their regulations for fighting and stuff. And I was telling a dude the other day I hadn't seen for a while, and he used to fuck around with boxing and stuff in the gym. I tried to tell him some stuff, and he's like, I thought I saw you was gonna have a fight coming up. Like, no, you saw wrong. I don't know what the fuck you was talking about. But, now maybe I was talking about an old fight or something. But I was like, I told him, I'm like, every fighter thinks they got that one last fight left in them, right? But a lot of times when you get to that point, that one last fight is the one that fucking turns your lights out and changes your fucking mental capacity for the rest of your fucking life, So thing is,
it's a young man's game for sure. It's a young man's game.
It is, man. But at the same time, last thing goes your power, and then if you start out young and fighting and was always a fighter, you'll die a fighter. You'll always be a fighter. You ain't gonna back down from fucking shit.
No.
So but
that part you have to be kind of born with. I mean, power, and heart are things that you kind of born with. The rest can be built.
That's it. That's like I always tell people. Well, you either can or can't knock somebody out, and if you ever get knocked out, that's something you can't unlearn. So, like,
it's gonna happen more likely.
Liddell, right? Liddell got, Liddell was the guy that was knocking motherfuckers out, and all of a sudden,
and he had a chin on him.
He got slept, man. Yeah, he did have a chin because he got hit hard by Mesger, fucking Rampage, and their first fight over in Pride. A lot of people don't fucking know about, but he had a chin until he just didn't have a chin no more because Rashad or Rampage that got him first.
Yeah, I mean Rampage got him first, but Rashad fucking slept him though. Like that one Rashad put on him. That was the one that took it.
And the thing is, he was fighting out of fear. But he was smart fighting out of fear. He was fighting out of fear, and like you said, dude, that was just disgusting. That was so. He got knocked out so fucking bad.
Yeah, it was bad. He was never the same after that. You can see with some guys as well when they get a bad knockout, and you just see they're never really the same. And that was the one for Chuck. The one Rashad did to Chuck. That ended his career really.
I always say this, once somebody finds your button, like I said, this is just not something you can unlearn. Once you get knocked out, you're gonna get knocked out again. Stick around long enough. I never got knocked out. Now I took some. And when I say this, I don't. Remember Rich Franklin? His coach that taught him Muay Thai, which, like I said, when I say that, he taught him Muay Thai, and then you saw what happened when he took that Muay Thai in against Silver, right? So, not the best Muay Thai, but I thought that his coach's name was Neil Rowe. I fought him one time, and man, I used to show up to fights and by myself, driving by myself, had no corner, nobody with me, and that was one of those fights, and I took it on like 13 days notice because another guy had pulled out, and so I took it on 13 days notice, and I made it was 7 or 8 maybe for that something, but He come out. Of course, he immediately tried to tie clinch me, but I knew if he did that, I was just gonna start fucking firing inside, man, all this shit to get him off of me, and then did that. And actually, dude, here's the thing: Gary Copeland was a referee, and I hit him with some shots, man, and it was the cage that kept him up. And I was like, man, and that dude, after some shots, having him against the cage, I started fucking throwing elbows like this, man. And but then he was out on the cage. And I looked at Gary, I'm like, and Gary's like, come on, man. I'm like, so I was like, let him off the cage. When he gets off the cage, then I'll fucking drop him. So I let him off the cage and started firing on him again. He got his wits back about him. Then I thought, because I saw him, he lost by getting a foot lock, and I had a damn good ankle lock. And so he came up off there. So I started firing on him again. I was going to take him down, man, but he was one of these real tall, lanky dudes, man. So, I got his leg up, but his leg was by his fucking face, but he was still standing there because he was so fucking tall. And I didn't think to tree top him. I don't know if you know about collegiate wrestling, but if you get a leg up, it's not taking somebody down. Bring your fucking knee up under the leg. It's called tree topping. And I didn't think to tree top him. And he ended up started coming back, and he spun me. And then I think the first thing he did was hit me in the elbow or a punch or something. I ended up taking like 4 knees from him. And I wasn't out, but dude, probably about 2 more knees, I would have been a fucking out. So I ended up collapsing, had a little damage on one of my eyes or something. Kerry Shaw, a former UFC fighter who was the promoter, come up and was like, dude, appreciate you coming out on short notice. Did a hell of a job. Thought you was going to win, shit like that. But and then I talked to Neil after the fight. Neil was cool as shit. And he told me, he's like, dude, they told me you hit hard. They tell me you hit hard every fucking time. I'm like, yeah. I was like, well, here's the thing, though. You fucking won, man, and appreciate the opportunity and stuff. Respect the shit out of you. And of course, he invited me up to the gym and stuff, and that's just how the fight game was and everything. But man, we've gotten all off track. We ain't talking about one thing we was going to talk about. But hey, give me a minute and 34 seconds. Time me and see if I ain't fucking right. Be right back.
Okay, no worries. All right, so I guess it's just me at the moment. So we've got a question here. Have an awesome trip, brother. Remember, relax and enjoy the trip. And send us all many deadly pics for us that'll probably never leave Oz. Well, I appreciate that, brother. It was a good last security session together. I'm pretty sure that is you, brother. So I appreciate that, Rob. But yeah, other than that, I guess we'll wait a sec.
Did you time me?
You're good, brother.
Did you time me?
I read off one of the questions that we got. So
we got a question. Yeah. What is
it? So it's just a friend from work. He works security.
Yeah.
And it was just have an awesome trip, brother. Remember to relax and enjoy the trip, and send us so many deadly pics for us that probably will never leave Oz.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it was nice of him, like that'll end up being probably our last security shit, or him working security, me as management, but our last shit together. So yeah.
Hold on, what? I thought he just made a good statement. What happened?
No, he did. He's just, send us some pictures from the Philippines when I'm over there. So, but yeah,
something about the last security. Something what?
Well, I mean, because he works security and I'm duty manager, so and that'll be his last session there. So, because he's got one more next week, but I'll be gone. So,
He's leaving the job.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What's
Yeah.
something bigger and better, hopefully, right?
Well, just security's pretty demanding. Like, finishing 6 in the morning. Like he was there with that guy because someone tried to stab me not long ago.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, and he was there for that. So, and I guess people, like he has a missus and kids. Like I can't imagine the missus was too happy about that. So,
Don't want
which
to.
is fun. Yeah, he wasn't going to mention anything, but it come up. A security providers were attacked with one individual with a knife, and then it said the street name of that house, our venue. So
So it made
she
the
she was
made the
yeah
news.
she was like, "What the fuck is this?" But yeah,
Well,
hey man,
if he's
that's
got childs, I understand, or children. I said childs, but
yeah,
I understand, because you know,
yeah.
uh, So you've probably seen in the news that man, I really didn't want to talk about the Tyson Mayweather thing, and I want to
Yeah,
mention
yeah.
the dipshit Paul dude, but
Mm,
I'm gonna say this. So that in the U.S. that last election, I hate to get into politics, but I'm just gonna say what it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
that last election with Biden,
Mm,
we all know that was stolen. Anybody it's awake and has any
mm,
fucking uh, intelligence about them know that election was stolen. We know our
mm,
fucking government is corrupt, but
mm,
they let in so many immigrants and illegals and criminals and shit. But so about 3 weeks ago, me and Cash were coming out of a store. It's called GameStop. You got that over there?
yeah. Well, we
Video
got
game place.
it's basically the same thing. I think they're owned by the same company, but it's a different name. But yeah, go on.
So we're getting ready to come out of the store. As part of our routine, places where stores we run down to and check out stuff. But was getting ready to come out, and I looked out the door and I saw a Hispanic, 20-something male
Mm,
outside on a cell phone.
mm,
So I'm walking out, and of course, I'm always watching Cash. Just you never once you become a parent, you never stop thinking about protecting your child and stuff. And so I'm watching Cash. I'm just watching this dude. And as Cash goes by and I go by, I'm listening, and I hear him step off the fucking curb.
mm,
So our car wasn't very far away. Had our car been farther away, shit might have been different, man. Because our car was like the first one going across the lot about 12 feet, which
mm,
I don't have probably like fucking 8 yards or something, give or take. But I looked in the door. I'll do little shit like this. I looked in the door and I saw him step off the fucking curb behind me. So
mm,
I took out, I took a few steps and I just happened to kind of turn and look to let him know that motherfucker, I see you. And
mm,
he fucking did like an about face, went back up to the store on his phone, and then went down in between the weeds over to a different store's parking lot. And I was
mm.
like, we was about to get got right there. I don't know to what extent, but there was, septic. So thing is, the enemy is at the gate. You ever heard that saying?
What one's that?
The enemy is at the gate.
Oh, yeah.
So the way I
Definitely.
see it, the enemy is at the gate. So now,
Yeah.
after that happened, anytime I go from the town I live in to the town Cash lives in, which is a way bigger city, it's like the second biggest city in Kentucky. I'm
Mm,
always carrying. You know,
mm. Oh,
uh,
nice.
I've got multiple firearms on me. But after that happened here locally, now
Mm,
even if we just go to the store, I'm carrying. You know,
mm.
so you got to be ready for shit like that, man, because it could be a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, even just working the industry that I've been in for a while now, like I always, if someone's behind me, I'm always looking, or I try to keep my back covered, or just I'm always very careful of my surroundings. And like over the years, I've had a lot of like physical altercations at work, and I wouldn't be able to fucking remember most of these people. Like a lot of them, I could walk straight past them and go, "Hey mate, how are you?" And fucking
turn around
for them,
back.
yeah, well, yeah, exactly. And for them, it's a big deal. For me, it's another Monday. I'm not going to remember them,
Yeah. You ever? I do this when I go out to eat, man. I pick spots in a restaurant. Like I post up in places. Like there's a Chinese place that's run by my buddy. His name's Denny. Hell, maybe it's fucking advertisement. The Chinese buffet here in Mount Sterling, Kentucky. Denny Dong. He's actually he's a cool dude, man. Every time I go in there, he's like, "Hey, Kelly, what's up, brother?" And stuff. And but when I go in there, it's been a while, but even the waitresses that can barely speak English know where me and Cash's spot is. And it's over the corner that I got full view of anybody walking into the restaurant, walking around the restaurant, shit. So they know that I post up somewhere where I can see everybody. Do the same thing in another restaurant called Waffle House. I get in the corner where I can see the door and everything, everybody coming and going. I always post up somewhere where I'm alert and oriented, But hey, so Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather.
All right. Well, you let in. What do you think?
I think it's fucking disgusting, stupid.
I could
So
definitely
you
agree
got
with
the heavyweight champion versus the middleweight?
No, he's smaller than that. He was
Welterweight.
No, he was smaller than that. 150, 154 was Mayweather.
150, 165. What is that? I forgot, I guess.
No. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the weight division, but yeah, he was smaller than welterweight.
So, yeah. So here's the thing. Like, remember when Pacquiao and Mayweather went down? And after the fight, everybody's disappointed nobody got knocked out. Now, granted, Pacquiao had some knockouts. He had some knockouts and shit. And Floyd, the Ortiz knockout was different. But I'm gonna tell you what, you had bit me mouth twice in the fucking mouth. You touched off the off the break or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, but the thing is about Floyd is you don't watch Floyd for his knockouts like you did Tyson. You watch Floyd to just watch him make small movements in that I always called it the
he's Philly shell.
Well, see, here's the thing. I don't know, man. I got I'm probably wrong about this, but I always thought that like Foreman and like Frazier, like when you're here and here, I thought that was the Philly shell, because it looks more like shell. But then we called this the getting sideways and the elbow on the hand, the windshield wiper. We called that the Stonewall.
Yeah, well, that's what the Philly shell is. So your Stonewall that's the Philly shell, yeah.
Really? So what the fuck is this? That fucking Frazier and fucking Foreman.
It's just a cross guard.
Well, anyway, so I teach this to everybody because I always tell them that if I'm on offense, I want all my guns up front. But as soon as I start pressed, I retreat, step back, take away about 60% of their target, and get that windshield wiper going, and shit like that. Which I learned that from Van Horn, dude. That's somebody you need to have on this show. Darren Van Horn, remember him?
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. Sweet.
He's a good friend of mine.
Nice.
He would love to do shit because he loves to fucking talk, man. He loves to give me shit. Always calls me Billy Bob Thornton. You know who that is? Do you know who that is?
I do. Yeah, now I can see a little bit. Huh? A little bit. If he was an MMA fighter.
I knew you were gonna say that shit, man. I knew it. I guess I do. And here's the thing.
A little bit. You look like your brothers.
Blade impersonation, man.
Yeah. You look like you could be brothers.
Yeah, but Darren, he's I learned I guess the Philly shell from him, and that's why I teach my kids and shit like that. But but here's the thing. Like I said, what I was talking about was whenever I watched Floyd fight, I didn't like when I was boxing, Mike Tyson was coming up. So we're hearing about this young kid knocking people out and stuff. And that's what it was, knocking people out. That was the attraction, right? With Floyd, that's not the attraction. The attraction is, I guess, him getting in the Philly shell and standing right there in the pocket and not getting hit with nothing, dude. It was an art. It's beautiful. He's the best one to do it. He's the best fighter of our time, or my time, I guess your time too. But he's not the best fighter of all time. That will always be Ali. I don't give two shits, man. Oh, he changed to beat fighters. He changed styles to beat fighters.
I mean, when you factor in who's the greatest, that could mean a lot of different things. Like, does that mean who has the greatest legacy?
Well, look, Marciano, man. I mean,
yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. It's who's the greatest is like, all right, you could look at it as like, if we took them both in their primes and put them into the ring, or is it like who they beat and longevity, influence on the sport and culture? Like there's a lot of things you could throw at, like who's the greatest.
I've been seeing a lot of arguments come online talking about Roy Jones Jr., which I emulated that low lead left, which is like I said, here in the States, Cincinnati was really known for that low lead left, right? Shit.
He'd lead with a lead left hook.
He did, but the thing is, like I said, that low lead left. So you're standing there and you got your left hand down, not here, right? Like doing traditional, your stance. But so what that low lead left was for, and like you said, he led with the lead left hook, right? But here's the thing: if I'm standing here, I'm guarded, but then as soon as I do this, what's open? This is over here for a right hand. But if I'm doing that low lead left style, that means I want you to throw that fucking right hand.
Exactly.
Because and I like to go to the body. Here's the thing, and you got to practice. I always tell people, you got to practice this. You can't just think you're going to pull this off in a fight without practicing. But you do that. You do that low lead left. You get them throw the right hand, and I'd like to eat that right hand, roll with it, and it come right to the fucking liver, dude. Now, Roy would go to the head, and shit, But he had that low lead left style, and it was just awesome. And like overseas, and like
Did you see that? Remember how he got robbed in the Olympics, right, Roy Jones?
I saw that, and he
got the medal back. Did you see?
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome. That's just nothing but respect, and also to see that the dude he fought. That's why I like. This is one of the things that I thought was really interesting was the dude he fought in the Olympics. We've never heard from again, right? But apparently, he's still involved enough that he owns a gym. He invited Roy to his gym, and his gym's popular, and so that was neat to me that that the guy he lost to, that he did lose to, or he didn't. No, it didn't lose to. He lost to on decision, but obviously not lose, technically and shit. But that guy is still an influence where he's from. That was interesting to me. I thought that was cool, So,
even though he's not, I mean, as far as the West goes, not in the limelight or not known.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Influential,
as far as we know, that shit where Roy lost, that was it. That was the epitome for him. That was what they call it, 15 minutes of fame, But ever since that happened, he went on back to his,
And when was that? That was like 88 or something, right? When was that?
88 or 89.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So that's fucking, what are we, 2025 now? So like 27 years ago, nearly 30 years ago,
At 88, 89. So you got that 10 on there. So we're looking at 35 to 30 or.
Yeah, no, you're right.
37, something like that.
A while. A long time. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's crazy, I don't know.
Like 37 years ago. My bad. Yeah, you're right.
I refer to everything as the other day because I do not have a good sense of time, and I probably from a lot of concussions and punches and stuff. But I refer to everything as the other day, and the other day could be between 1 and 20 years ago, So
I feel you for sure.
But So yeah, Mike Tyson known for knocking people out, obviously. Mayweather known for doing that, but it makes no fucking sense because
Makes no sense.
Tyson done sold his soul to the fucking devil.
Mm.
I hate them. I really don't like them Paul brothers.
Mm.
To me, those dudes represent what's wrong with youth today. This YouTube shit, they're famous off YouTube shit. Yep. And who's the one that's actually boxing?
Disney.
Huh?
He was a Disney kid. So they were Jake Paul and that, like the Paul brothers. They were like Disney
Oh, was
kids.
they really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I thought they just got popular off fucking YouTube
no.
or something.
Well, they kind of did, but this is the thing. Like a lot, when you have a certain amount of fame or a certain audience that you can parlay into YouTube, it makes it a lot easier. Like it's hard to do grassroots like what we're doing, man. Like,
I was wondering why they blew up. So apparently, I guess they
that's a big part of it.
Huh?
They pulled an audience over,
Gotcha.
and then doing they were like doing some pretty outlandish shit. Like in Japan, how you got that suicide forest.
Got what?
Suicide forest, in Japan, where all the people
Yeah,
go out
yeah,
and hang themselves.
yeah.
The Logan Paul went out there and like videoed fucking someone's corpse up in a tree and shit like that. Like
Really?
we're gonna go out and try to find dead bodies, and he seen buddy like he put it in his YouTube. That's the thing. This is a few years ago, so even though the video got pulled, like you get banned for that now, but back then it was a little bit more,
I had
YouTube
no
Wild
idea
West.
that happened. All I know is this.
Yeah.
So I don't like. I really don't. Who's the one boxing's?
Jake, the one that boxed Tyson, and that's Jake. But Logan boxed Mayweather before.
Logan's not the one boxing.
No, Jake is, but Logan actually boxed Mayweather.
Logan is the one that is like got my fucking this huge like celebrity crush. I like pregnant and married her and shit like that. Have you ever heard of Nina Agdal?
No,
dude,
she's pretty hot, eh?
She's perfect. I followed her, on one of the social medias and stuff, and she was just, I was like, oh my god, she's just, just perfect. And then all of a sudden, he's with her, got her pregnant. So I don't like that one. I don't like that Jake because he's with her. But then the Logan guy that's doing all the boxing shit. Or wait, hold on. Did I get that backwards?
You got it backwards, yeah. But I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, but then the Jake, the one that did these like really fruity ass fucking dance videos, and then also got tattoos and started.
Yeah. Remember I mentioned he was a Disney kid. That's because that's all the Disney shit that they used to do.
Well, but so. Here's one of the first times I ever got introduced to him, right? Was it was another YouTube channel. There's this dude named Air Rack something.
Okay.
But he went over to the Paul's house to box one of them. And it was the fucking Jake kid. And he went over there and like, the dude that was around Jake was just being a dick to this kid Air Rack. This kid Air Rack, he'd do shit like, go survive on a raft in the ocean for a little while and just weird shit like that, right? That was what my son was into. So he went over to the Paul house and got in there with Jake and just wanted to box, but, and Jake does this weird shit, man. And it's just a fucking act where at this time he was over there and, Air Rack's like, I'll box you. And he's like, and Jake had a bowl of cereal and was eating cereal and wouldn't look at him because like, yeah, I'll box you. I'm a pretty good boxer. But it's just so fucking fake, man. And I saw something like that recently. He still does this shit. And he's got this new drink called Celsius, right? Yeah, so he's got this Celsius, and he's like, after a training session, he's like, hey, drink Celsius. He's just such a fucking bitch, man. I hate that motherfucker, dude. I tell you what, I guarantee you this. No, because I'd take the fucking money. But training wise, yo, hold on. Luke just messaged me. How much time we got, brother?
Yeah, he can jump in.
Well, I'm gonna message you back like, get your fucking ass in here. Hold on, where's my fucking? I don't know if can I get off that and talk to him or.
No. I'm texting him now.
All right, text him. Just tell him get the fuck in here. We're waiting on you. Still on. Yeah, just yeah, okay. But I just don't like the motherfucker, man. And then we all know the fucking shit's set up. We saw Mike leading up to the fight hitting pads. And as a coach, there's two ways to hit pads. You either put the fucking pads right where the target is, or you reach out and you compensate for the fighter, right? Now, Mike Tyson was hitting legit pro fucking pad shit, in tight, fucking body work, everything. And then you go into the fight, watch him biting his glove, pulling fucking punches, and just not, just.
I mean, he's 60, and like he's an old 60 as far as like mileage that he's put in the
Don't
boxing.
do the age thing too.
And then yeah, I know, fair enough. But I mean,
awesome.
He was all right. But look at it this way, right? He was washed when he fought McBride, and that was in 2005.
True.
So
man.
We're in 2025, and I'll also mention that he was on an airplane that they had to wheel him out in a wheelchair. Like he nearly died. Like he's so far past his prime that it's not funny. Hey, look who it is.
Hey,
Master Lukey. How are you, brother?
Let's go.
How you been, mate?
Good to see you, James.
Yeah, good to see you too, brother.
How are you, lad?
Yeah, good, mate.
What are you up to? I missed it.
Yeah, we haven't really been touching many of the topics. We've just been shooting
Okay, what's
shit
up?
for the most.
Oh my god.
His turn.
I am your father.
I am your.
I had to do it, brother. You got the mask on me the first time, man. What's up, man? Where you been?
There you go, Luke. I am your. What is it? Your
Father.
sister's daughter.
Uncle's cousin.
Wait, they're cousins, right?
What bloody?
Yeah, no, they're brother and sister. What?
They're brother and sister. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, you just had the. That's
Kylo
not Vader's
Ren.
mask. Who's that? Kylo Ren.
Yeah, it's Kylo. Yeah, that's all I got. I ain't got.
That's
no
the
fucking,
distance.
So you're my nephew, actually.
No Darth Vader mask. Man.
Kelly, you're
Yeah.
actually my nephew, bro.
Yeah, I guess he's got a point.
It's all good, Uncle. Uncle Luke. Hey, that's funny. I was also thinking this. Uncle Luke.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we want some pussy. James, you know what we're talking about?
I think it's going over my head, man.
2 Live Crew, man. You gotta look it up, man. I used to jam that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 Live Crew. Hey, look.
Yeah.
Me and this chick was in town one time. I had this Oldsmobile, little 305, and this busload of Amish or Mennonites or something come in town. And I told her, I'm like, look, get in the fucking car. And I had a bootleg copy of 2 Live Crews, as nasty as I want to be. So we pop that shit in the tape deck, and we pull up to the gas station. It's like, hey, we want some pussy right beside these Mennonites, just completely religious people and stuff. And yeah, just crazy shit.
I'm sure that went over really well.
It went great. They hey, you know what? They don't deodorant. Yeah.
I think Kelly's car burst into flames after that.
Damn near.
It was a sign.
Hey, actually,
So
that car did get T-boned in a accident because a guy come in the parking lot where me and my buddy was sitting and started doing donuts around us, and then hit his car, knocked his car into my car, and then we took off after him and got him trapped on a dead-end street. I used my car to block the road. I did not think he was going to completely drive and ram my fucking car. And then I end up breaking his windshield out, dragging him out of the car, and started beating on him until he started crying. And then I actually put like a blanket on him or something and wait till the cops show up. But never did get that fucking car paid for, man. That was shitty.
Well, at least you put a blanket on him, like that's pretty good.
I thought
it balances it out, you know what I mean?
I thought it was a hostile moment until he started crying. I was like, hold up, man.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Kelly said this is gonna hurt me more than it hurts you.
Luke, what's going on? You gotta feel a lot of. You missed a lot of shit. We gotta feel a lot of airspace. We talked about some old fighting shit. I just learned tonight, which I had a suspicion that this is the Philly shell, and this is not the Philly shell. But anyway, and then we talked about Tyson Mayweather, and just talk about how much I despise the fucking Paul brothers. So
okay,
what's up, man?
I despise boxing. As much as I loved watching it growing up, as much as I practiced the techniques, I think it's completely corrupt. You can never be sure if you're getting if you're watching a real fight or not.
You're right.
Not to mention the deaths. It's just really hard for me to stomach. But
what? Hold up. The what?
Jake, it's hard for me to stomach to watch, knowing the damage that these guys I'll look at it. I was watching a fight from One. It was the highlights from One last night. They do the Muay Thai with the MMA gloves.
Where? Where?
One FC. They do. Yeah, they do.
There was a fight last night.
They do Thai boxing with MMA gloves.
Yeah. Okay. This dude was ripping the most fucking incredible combos, and I was like, damn. It's so good, but so fat and deadly. I'm like, holy shit. Just watching this guy. And he ended up elbowing this guy into oblivion. But the Paul brothers, Kelly, is a symptom of the joke that boxing has become.
Yes.
Because it got taken over, and this is my beef with combat sports in general, got taken over by the promoter where there used to be a master. The master didn't get paid. They got, donations of food, and they meditated, and it was a spiritual mission to protect people and to teach people how to protect themselves. Now you got this crooked promoter, which I saw something today, Dana White's $50 million in gambling debt. I mean, this guy's in charge or considered to be an authority or an expert of how people should be practicing martial arts.
And he's the spokesperson for UFC, and the Sheik over there for the promotion. A good idea to have him come over and be the spokesperson for their boxing. Like, who gives a fuck? We all know how crooked he is, and how he's having sex with all those female fighters and stuff. But I don't man, those classic promos where it lead up with say who is the dude, Morgan Freeman, doing like a talk over leading up to the fight, stuff like that. That's what was awesome. But I will say this about the Paul brothers, they want to exploit boxing, not embrace it. And the same thing with wrestling. The one that's wrestling, he don't want to embrace wrestling. He wants to exploit it. And it's two different things. It's all about heart. So
it's like when the money became more important than the safety, or when money became the most important thing. Now, as far as Jake Paul's concerned, the money's even more important than the sport, because. I don't know. Maybe you believe it. I don't believe any of those fights are real. I think they're either work matches.
Absolutely fucking not. That's like, and that's where the circus started with this motherfucker. The Tyson Paul thing. Like, I was talking to Luke, and James, and that when you got somebody holding mitts for you. When they're holding mitts like here, close up to the target, that's pro mitt shit. And that's what Tyson was doing, and just looking fucking phenomenal. and then you saw what happened in the fight. And James mentioned that he got sick but he still fought. I don't know. It fucking makes me sick, man. I hate it.
But
I think they can really make the bumps look real to the point where it looked like Tyson. What's the name? Tyson?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyson. Yeah.
Not Tyson.
Paul Woodley.
Woodley.
Oh yeah.
I think you could take a bump like that and make it look like you get knocked out.
Dude,
Oh, I don't know, man.
look,
I think that
are we
that was
linked up
legit.
on Facebook yet?
I'm not sure.
Well,
I'll
if
look it
we
up right
ain't,
now.
look, I need to either link up with you on Facebook, and I'm gonna show you. I could send you some wrestling shit where I got hit in the head with a steel chair, and that's what this scar from here. I don't know if you can see it. It's a horseshoe thing. It's a flap.
Damn.
But the thing was, it was all the work, man. I wasn't out. I took the chair shot. I laid down, and I was awake the whole time. I was selling it. What we call it, selling it, whatever.
Yep.
But no, you're right. Yeah, you make that shit look legit as fuck if you're good, if you can sell.
I mean, Raja Jackson definitely sold his. That's for sure.
No,
Yeah, like
no, that wasn't no selling shit. That was
Yeah, I know.
motherfucker.
Oh, 100%. So 100% he tried to kill that
man.
fucking guy.
That was no selling shit. That was a motherfucker committing assault. That was sick.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I'm just talking shit, man. Like,
And even
obviously tried to.
have you seen the video where they showed Rampage? And even Rampage was like, just he knew how much trouble this was gonna fucking be. And then went back on the guy and was like, didn't even know the guy. It was like, this guy's a this, that, and the other. I'm like, dude, you don't know him. And that's not gonna work. That trying to say, oh, this guy's this, that, and the other, because you don't know him from shit, because it's a little independent ass professional wrestling show. But anyway, I'll be right back.
So it went from a wink and a nod, telling the guy to carry him, make him look good. Now you got to take a dive. Now or then they go, the judges, get to the judges. We know it's going to be a close fight. You know how they gave one guy the fight because he's more marketable, or they want the title to be more prestigious, or they want a rubber match. Like I was saying, the money's more important than the sport. Whatever is going to make more money is more important than the title, than the honesty of the thing. Now they got so far as to meet up beforehand behind closed doors, owned by WMG, huge multinational corporation, worth billions. Jake Paul has a manager, has an agent, has a handler, has a trainer behind the scenes, working that match every day. It's like a WWE blend of combat sports where, what is it in pro wrestling? Maybe Kelly would know. It might be called kayfabe, but it's something that you're not sure when you're watching a work match. They're so good that you think it's real.
Say what now? Say it again.
You're not sure if it's a work match or a shoot because they're so good.
Well, and that's just good work. And I've done that in my career. We even, sometimes, in order to sell the match and shit, you even work guys backstage. And that's what me and this dude done. His name was Larry D. That was his name. He's a young kid, and so I recently got the championship for that promotion. And the promoter called me. He's like, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "Well, here's the thing, man. I got it. The best part of a baby face, which is what I was, is chasing the championship. Now I got it, but we were going to be doing some spot shows or road shows and shit. So it would be good for me to be the champion and show up to those road shows. So they got a face of the company to come and support. They're going to see me come and win some matches and shit. But when we got back to our local show, which is a weekly or monthly show or something, but we were telling a story. So I told the promoter, I'm like, look, we've got no strong heel or bad guy now. So I saw a lot of potential in this young kid, and he was actually a backyard wrestler and shit. And but he had a lot of potential. He's a big kid. He had a huge love for the sport. So I told the promoter, I'm like, look, man, let's I'll drop the strap to him and then I'll chase it again. That's and we we did a lot of stuff. Like I said, we would even some of the people in the backstage area didn't know whether we were actually mad at each other or not. Because we would get in arguments backstage, but so it's all about how much you love wrestling. So where you going? Well, here's your chair right here. But anyway, so so we do the whole didn't know if it was a fucking work or a shoot thing, and that's and you know what that's called, Luke? They got a name for it.
Kayfabe.
That's called kayfabe. You hear me?
Yeah.
Right.
Lukey called it.
It means keep it under wraps. If you're in front of people who are a fan of what you're doing, don't let them know that it's a work or it's scripted and shit. So it's called kayfabe. So we was all about the kayfabe, man. When kayfabe was fucking dying after those fucking documentaries like Beyond the Mat and what was the other one? There's another one. Beyond the anyway, so if you really want to get your story over, try to make it that your story is as real as possible. And we did that with as many people as we could, and we put a lot of asses in the seat and stuff like that.
Nice, bro.
Yeah.
That's why James he is a fan of the old classic movies, and so he's got this this youthful innocence and naivety when he watches all these worked matches. He thinks Jake Paul's an actual boxer.
Brother, I do not think he's a real boxer. I do think he knocked out Woodley though. I mean that shot. That's not. You don't take a shot like that and land face it and land. Yep.
Look. Go back and watch it. You see that?
Jake Paul definitely.
Do it more. Do it more, Kelly. Do it like 10 times in a row. Really fast.
Shut the fuck up, Luke.
Up by your face.
Watch, man. Right before it happened, he just kind of did this little twist, and then bam, and then he just slept the fucking. And like I said, dude, you can watch some old matches. I don't even think I've sent them to you, James, but you can watch some old matches where I knew what was coming next, and it was usually a chair shot or some shit, and sold it like I was knocked the fuck out, man. I tell you what I did do one time. I was in some random ass, I think it was like a battle royal or something in some small town and shit, and I was on top of a ladder, and I was going to do like a little like frog splash off the top of the ladder. Well, when I went to kick off the ladder moved, right? So instead of launching and landing over top of my opponent, the ladder moved and I landed straight the fuck down. It was a big fuck up, but everybody started laughing. But when I landed, I sold it like I was knocked the fuck out.
Oh shit!
And the laughter went to fucking silence, and even the manager at ringside thought I was knocked the fuck out. Several guys in the ring checked on me, and I just I put my face on the fucking mat, and they was like, "You okay?" I'm like, "I'm good." But I was like, and I told them backstage, I'm like, that was fucking embarrassing as shit. Now, had I tried to jump right back up and act like I was okay, they would have continued fucking laughing. It would have been horrible. But where I fucking sold it like I was fucking hurt, even the crowd, when they started laughing, then all of a sudden it went to, oh. So they thought I was fucking, there was a problem. And I sold it like that. because like, I didn't want to, so it's all about how you sell, man. And yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you can sell a shot, but that punch that he put over Tyron Woodley, I think that's legit. You could see it land hard on him. He went out face first onto the canvas.
So what's the deal with Tyson Mayweather? Is that supposed to be an exhibition or an actual? They can't sanction that. They're two different weight classes.
No, it's supposed to be an exhibition.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be bothered watching it. Like,
Right?
I mean, why would I bother watch it? Like after the Tyson is, like I was saying to Kelly before, Tyson was well past his prime when he fought McBride in 2005. That was 20 years ago. And he looked every bit of his age in that ring. Not to mention he nearly died before going into that fight. He got wheeled out of that. Yeah, did you see him in the wheelchair and that? He got wheeled out of that fucking airplane. Like,
what?
And I don't, I'm not a big supporter of Mayweather either. I don't like him, and I don't really want to help put money into Mayweather because I spent a long time watching his fights. The only reason why I watched the Mayweather fight is because I wanted to fucking see him lose. And,
hey, I'm the same way with Alvarez, which we'll bring that up. I do not like Alvarez. I believe the first Triple G and Alvarez fight, Triple G won. But they decided that Alvarez was going to be the guy, right?
Yeah.
Now, the second fight, he could have won.
You know what that is?
I would turn the sound off and count
Triple G was starting to go on the decline earlier. That's why. I mean, that happens. I had to. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, they're both great. I like Canelo. And
Mayweather's probably doing it as a favor, to be honest. Doesn't Tyson owe like a ton of money?
No, I think actually Mayweather's in. There's a lot of talk about Mayweather being in financial issues. Wow. I mean, he's always throwing cash around and on planes and that. So I don't know, but there's always talk about him because this is another thing, right? It's like, yeah, he's always got all this shit around, but he could be blowing through all that money. You know what I mean? Like, if you're doing all this shit, flying around in big jets and throwing cash around and showing like fucking 10 different Rolexes, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes through all that money. So that's why he's digging out fucking.
Seen him in a fight, he's sitting there holding the cash in like stacks, which means that shit's going right back out the door. And then funny thing is, like him and 50 Cent, the rapper from America, were in together at one point. And apparently 50 Cent says he owes him money and also can't read, At one point he was like, just challenging Mayweather to read. And like, I'll give you $60,000 to read a sentence from Cat in the Hat. Some shit. Yeah.
Well, hopefully he knows how to count because it doesn't matter how much money you can fucking make if you don't know how to hold on to it.
That's what I was getting to. If he's at the point where he's like damn near fucking illiterate and actually has, not, I don't know, man. He's just,
going back to and I agree with, like the tradition of having a master and that whole side of martial arts. But when we talk about boxing, right? Boxing originally was boxing started off as bare knuckle boxing, and then rounds were determined when you drop someone and they got back up. That was another round, and then you had the Marcus Akribsbury rules, which was brought in to help protect the fighters. So to be devil's advocate, and I'm not saying it's a safe sport because we obviously all know it's not, but they did try to do some things to help save fighters, because that's a brutal fight, like a brutal sport. If every time you knock someone down is another round,
That's what I was going to say, James. That's funny you said that because do you remember that? Yeah, you're right. Anytime in the early days of boxing, somebody get knocked down, that was the end of a round. And you remember there was like fights with like 99 fucking rounds or some shit, something. Remember that?
Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Fucking brutal. So yeah, like I mean, as less we go like what you were saying with your league, Master Lukey, with like a no head contact,
Yep.
Outside of that, it's probably as safe as you can really make it at the moment.
How's
Without,
that?
well, I mean, unless we go with no head contact,
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
So this is I wouldn't say a touchy subject, but something I give a lot of thought to, and I have people on both sides.
Mm.
People in the natural healing aspect of my life, they said it's basically impossible to make it safe because it does come from killing. Martial is war,
It's not good for your fucking.
and the safest thing, that's still combat would be like wrestling, but even wrestling is a concussion sport.
Yeah.
So,
Dude, you can
just
get
no way
concussion
around it.
ice skating, Luke.
If you're doing the head contact, there's really no way to not register those hits on the spectrum of concussive impact. And my rules, they were born out of necessity. It's just something that I had to incorporate into my training to be able to stay in MMA the past 15 years or so since I left UFC. And so not that it's a matter of if, it's just a matter of when, James. Like you said, it was a progression from totally not a sport to more of a sport. It's definitely sportified. And then my rules is even more regulations, more of a sport. And, like maybe these people in the natural healing community are right that we're going to get to a stage in our human evolution where there's no combat sports. Maybe there are other sports that are still as exciting, or who knows. But I don't think that people should be able to make money profiting off of other people either getting injured, getting sold, getting taken advantage of. There's rules, there's laws. You can't take advantage of people. Like if you sell them, I don't know, like lemon laws or these fraud scams that people get arrested for that actually go do time for taking people's money. And there's rules now. We're getting more rules about it, but you can't make certain food. You can't make certain chemicals in food. The system is supposed to protect the people from birth until death to be kind of like a structure, but it's the constant evolution of our species that there's always like by the time they have a test for some type of steroid, they're already on to the next steroid. So it's like a catch up. So I guess there's always going to be this battle of good and evil, but I do believe that it makes sense, this idea of making the sport more accessible.
Yeah.
And that's what they tried to do with the Ultimate Fighter TV show, was bring the drama aspect in to bring in non-mixed martial arts fans, like sports fans and drama fans.
It worked.
So the League of Champions is it's a more sportified MMA. And it's I could just be before my time, James, but that's kind of one of the tragedies of art, is that sometimes it doesn't get recognized until the artist is gone. Maybe somebody will pick it up in 50 years or 25 years.
That actually happens most of the time. Yeah.
But somebody like Mark Zuckerberg, or somebody who's who's a fan but also has got the tech savviness or the money to front, I think they could end up digitizing this where people, just by the movement, just by the speed, just AI can do anything. They could take two people which are doing MMA with each other, and it can digitize their movement. Of course, it would take a while to figure this whole program out or algorithm, but it will digitize our movement and assign a numerical score.
Mm.
And that concept where
Yeah, 99.
the fighting or the sparring is mathematical,
Mm.
then takes it out of the realm of killing each other and scoring, and instead scoring points. So now you have a real sport, right? Because right now you have the points, so it's kind of a sport, but you also can win just by killing the other guy. So is it a sport or is not? It's kind of in that gray area right now.
I mean,
so I'm always going to be pushing the league, but I also have to be realistic that it's just right now it's a bit of a leap from these small shows that I'm doing in like local gym smokers too, where I could have people who are maybe transitioning, like instead of doing, who's the guy I saw something recently, it was like Anderson Silva versus Vitor Belfort in a boxing match. So they still got the competitive spirit, they just can't fight the best of the best in the UFC anymore.
I saw the Vitor pulled out of the upcoming him and Vanderlei.
It was Vanderlei.
Yeah.
It was Vanderlei. That's who it was.
Yeah,
really?
He pulled out. Yeah, I don't know what the reason was, but yeah, he pulled out. So, which
maybe Vanderlei send him a nice cash bonus because that was not going to go too well for Vanderlei. Fuck, and he would have gotten smoked.
Yeah. So there's that, but here's the thing: it's not is gear. It's not based on a gear thing because wherever the fight was happening, they both could have been geared up. I guarantee.
Oh yeah. Me too. Yeah. It'd be like probably in the contract that they have to.
Right.
Yeah. Just,
like the Pride ones, we do not check for steroids.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Hey, this new movie with The Rock playing Mark Kerr is getting a lot of praise, man. Y'all heard about this?
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I reckon that will be The Rock's kind of magnum opus.
So they're saying that it's like the second coming of The Rock. He's been doing like action shit with fucking comedic dialogue and shit like that. But they're saying that he's really like delving into the character, portraying the character. It's got some weird graphics throughout the movie and stuff.
I'm happy Mark Kerr's getting a bit of love out of this as well, and like. I'm not sure how much cash they've given Mark Kerr or anything like that, obviously, but just the mere fact that his life story is going to be portrayed by The Rock and it's going to be a big movie, that in itself will generate cash for him. Because I remember seeing him a while ago, like him working in a car yard and blah, blah, blah. And at one point in time, he was the man. Like, it wasn't a long period there, but at a point in time, in MMA, he was the man, and so hopefully, like, this will help.
Kerr?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. We've not seen a fucking Mark Coleman movie, a Dan Severn movie, Hell Horse Race movie. Why did it pick fucking Mark Kerr?
Because he's the one with
he battled so much with addiction, I guess.
Yeah.
But the thing is, so did fucking Coleman. Coleman's admitted to that right now. He's like. Coleman's only like a couple years sober.
Coleman's a good one. I think it just comes down to one, the documentary, and two, just that fucking roller coaster. I mean, there's plenty of guys that have had a more successful career, but their life story probably isn't going to translate as well.
That's what I'm thinking. I think that's what's all about, is the story behind it and shit. And then, like I said, apparently it's getting really good reviews on. Some sites that would give you bad reviews if it's a shitty movie. So
it's going to be a bit of it was a bit of a stretch for The Rock though to play a juiced up athlete,
right?
He's really
man.
He's having
a fucking
gonna have to dig deep into his acting well for that one.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
had to take lessons.
there's no way. Yeah, there's no way he could act as a juice.
Hey,
There's no way.
hopefully he don't Heath Ledger himself off that shit because he had to delve in that character too far.
Mm.
That's
Well,
I'm sorry.
you've
Hey,
seen The Rock
Shane,
recently, right?
sorry about that. What?
You've seen The Rock recently. He's lost heaps of weight.
Right? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
You
Said
see
he's off.
Batista
I
recently?
would. Yeah, but he's fucking weird. We'll forget about him.
You know, here's the thing: they're all fucking weird, James. You know, so.
Yeah, fair enough. But like when you like say there's like, you know, fucking The Rock is weird. Batista is like he's setting a high bar. You know what I mean?
You know,
He turned
I
up
don't know,
fucking
man.
dressed like a
you know,
chick. You know,
What?
like with that fucking thing that he was wearing and that, like, you know, and what he's doing is kind of smart because he's in California and he's trying to become a successful actor. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what were
Yeah.
you saying? The Rock is not on test anymore. He's only on growth.
Well, yeah. Well, no, brother. You not see any pictures of him recently? He's lost heaps of weight.
Well, he was juiced to the gills to play Coleman.
But
I mean,
he's
not
been
Coleman.
juiced. He's
to,
been he's
Kerr,
been
Mark
yeah,
Curry, yeah.
he's been blasting gear for like fucking 3 decades now, though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You know,
But
he
apparently,
was the
apparently
first person
he
I
had
ever
a
heard of to have their bitch titties removed.
Yep. He had the guy.
oh,
Remember
Dino.
that? Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because when he was in
Um.
WWE, but you
Yep.
said he had a hard episode.
Yeah. So his heart is enlarged, and one of his valves was blocked, and so he's dropped off the
Yo.
gear. He said that he's gone natural. I don't believe that at all.
Nah.
I
When they
would
say
say that
natural, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, well, like I was saying, he's been blasting gear for 3 decades. So
Mhm.
if he just went off, like he would be producing no testosterone. So I reckon he's just doing a very small cycle just to give him a normal person's baseline.
He's probably doing a
Because he
maintenance
just wouldn't-
cycle, which is
Well, yeah,
between a 150 or a 100, 150 milligram over a 10-week period, and he's probably sustaining that for up to 20 weeks and shit. Because he is definitely not doing, the
he can't
upwards
come
of,
off.
not just test, Deca, Winstraw, shit like that. He's doing basically what they call a maintenance cycle. So he's not lost all his shit like fucking Batista, who looks like a anyway. But yeah, so he's just on a maintenance cycle. It's about one.
You seen him? Did you see him though recently? How much weight?
Yeah.
Size he's
Fine,
lost? Yeah.
Well, I saw him in a suit, but you can see in the suit that he's,
Oh, he's lost heaps.
and it's weird that he's done this after doing that movie with starring as Kerr, looking jacked, and all of a sudden off the movie. So it's like as an actor, like hey, I was running gear like crazy for this movie. All right, here's my movie. I'm skinny as fuck. What the fuck is that, dude?
All right, you ready for another topic?
What we got?
Yes.
All right, so we got Marav Dilavashi. If I win, I want to turn around quick and fight in December against Peter Yan. Is a clear right contender. He deserves it. So if he gets through this next fight, he wants to do a quick turnaround and fight Peter Yan, which is
who's he fighting next?
Well, that's
so he's fighting. Me and my brain.
Sandhagen?
Is that the one? Is it?
No. You didn't say Sandhagen, did you?
Yes, yeah, Sandhagen.
What?
Yeah.
Say
So
it again
that's
now, apparently I didn't hear you.
Corey
Right.
Sandhagen.
Huh?
So he's fighting Corey Sandhagen, 320.
Wow.
Marab. And then if he wins that, he wants to fight Peter in December.
So I don't, like I said, I don't keep up with a lot with UFC, but I know all those names. I know they're all very good, and that sounds like a good trilogy. But here's the thing, the bad thing is who is it? Shali, what is it? Who? Marab? What? Who?
Yeah, the Wallace really.
Yeah. So he thinks he's gonna fight this Sandhagen dude, right? He's already stating that he fights the Sandhagen dude. And he wants a quick turnaround to fight who?
Peter Yan.
Peter Yan, which I've
Another
heard of, and
Yeah.
I've seen some results from his fights, but he's making a grave mistake. And what's that?
What do you think, Luke? Because
Looking past your
Marab's
fucking
from
opponent, man. You know, you
you
can't look past your fucking opponent like that. You know,
Marab's
breathing.
from
Huh?
yeah, Marab's from Luke's old gym. So
Oh
what
yeah.
do you think, Luke? Yeah,
I
Oh, yeah.
like Marab. He came in like right after I left, so I never really met him or trained with him. But
yeah.
gotta love the guy. He's so genuinely like just happy to be there,
Mm,
and I don't see him looking past anybody, Kelly. I just think he's always on it. He just has one speed. You just turn him on, and
mm,
he, you
Flesh.
know, is Corey Sandhagen skilled and like a sniper enough to catch him? That's the only way you beating him. The only way
mm.
you beat Marab is with striking. You
What
knock
was
him
the
out
big
wrestling.
highlight early from Corey Sandhagen's career? Did he fucking get Frankie with a flying knee? Was that him, or
Yeah,
what
he
was
did
his
that.
highlight? Huh?
He did that.
Was that Corey Sandhagen did that to Frankie?
Mm-hmm.
That's shitty. I always loved Frankie, and that was like. But anyway, okay, well, we'll see. But yeah, you
I
still
reckon if he bangs these two out, because he's been very active, man. So he it's pretty cool. You know what I
Jan's
mean?
got a
It's
better
pretty
chance, I
impressive.
think. I think Jan's got a better chance than
Yeah,
John's
I do agree
Sandhagen.
with it.
But
Yeah.
Sandhagen, he's got some nice moves.
Sandhagen's long and a striker, and then you got Jan, who's a also a striker, but can close the distance and
Yeah.
grapple really well. So,
He's clearing
but
up
like
at
I
the
said,
distance.
I wouldn't,
Does that?
I just don't see saying I'm going to do this and this. Talk
Mm,
about you're going to do this. Get that
mm,
done first. But don't if when you say you're going to do this and this, to me that says that you don't respect the motherfucker getting ready to face in the
Good point.
first fight. So
mm,
you might want to just I just the task at hand.
Yeah.
mm,
Hey, look, James, the enemy that's at the gate.
They
mm.
also, Kelly, they ask a lot of leading questions with these fucking media people, so they might have said, "Oh,
That's a good point.
he might have been led into that one."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
True.
I
I
don't
get that.
really
Yeah,
see
I get
him.
that. Yeah.
I see him taking every day, literally every day. Like this is the
Yeah.
same. There's no light days for him. I used to train
Yeah.
with a guy like that named George Soteropoulos.
Wait, I
Uh,
remember that name.
yeah,
Was he on the show at some
Not
point
he
too?
Aussie.
was on one
He
of the
was on the
shows. Yep,
show later, right?
he's an
Mhm.
Aussie. Yep,
Yeah, I
Yep.
thought he did. Yeah, I remember that guy.
dude left it all on the mat every single day, like
There we go.
2 days every day, no rest days. A bit much. I think it kind of like hampered him because he couldn't get to 100% sprint. It was just like 80, 90% constantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that hurt him in a couple of fights because they just like were
So
kind of
overtrained.
able to edge him out just a little bit, you know, because what I was saying before is it's not really a full sport because you have the points, but you also have the fight to the death aspect. So
Mm,
whereas guys like George Soteropoulos and Merab Dvalishvili, they're always going to win on points just because it's like a math. They have the formula to maximize their time for points. And if they finish you, good. But if not, it's like the math of, oh, I'm going to go 60 miles an hour for this amount of time. But the other guy, he's going to go from 30 miles an hour to 80 miles an hour back to 30. And like somebody like that, they could overtake. You don't know.
mm,
So Marab, Corey Sandhagen, he's not even a striker. I think he's a really good grappler. It's just
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well,
the wrestling background of Marab, I think, is going to give him that juice to pull it out. Whether it's a
mm.
decision, most likely a decision,
that
because
seems to be the thing
you know,
right now is the wrestling from that was it Tajikistan or that
mm.
whatever
until people, I think we're going to see something in the JDM fight. We're going to see some anti-Dagestani wrestling if it gets there. He might just win by knockout, but I really like that Craig Jones guy, man. He's changing the whole because
jiu-jitsu dude?
the cycles of like the sport. First the jiu-jitsu one, then the wrestlers picked up jiu-jitsu, then the strikers picked up the wrestling. You know, it's like these cycles. They got the Dagestanis, like you're saying, Kelly.
Yeah.
I think Craig Jones figured out how to use jiu-jitsu against a wrestler again because like
Yeah.
it came back around.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wrestling and jiu-jitsu crosses over. Hey, James, real quick,
Mhm.
man. Here's a
Yeah, man.
Cash. He got a message for you.
What's up, man?
Yeah. Hey, Bella, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Sorry, hold
Good,
on.
thanks.
Take breaks in between. Let him talk. You can talk back. Okay.
Good
Hey,
looking
yeah,
kid there, Cash. How's
Nice.
life?
Good. How's your life?
All right.
Luke is up
I'm in
East
New York.
Coast, New York, and then James in Australia.
How's life in New York, Luke?
Let's see. This is the best time of year. Do you guys get the seasons changed down there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hoodie season. It's gonna be
Yeah.
lit,
It's hoodie season. Just cold outside.
and you're gonna be a Pikachu for Halloween.
Nope.
He's like, I'm too old for Pikachu. Minecraft.
We're gonna be the cool house for Halloween. No trick or treating this year, apparently.
What do you mean?
Fog machine, fucking decorations, passing out the good candy and shit.
How's life in Australia?
Work 70 hours a week. Run a pub where I deal with a lot of trouble. In other words, it sucks.
Hey, James
Nah,
is
nah,
getting on the
it's
plane.
good.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I told him you was getting on the plane in about an hour or so, man. So
Yeah.
he's just gonna say
Well,
hey to you and pray over you, man.
Yeah. I'm
it'll
praying.
be.
Are you ready
Thanks,
for
fella. I
this
appreciate it.
6-hour flight?
Well, so it'll be tomorrow. So that's why we're doing it today and not tomorrow because.
Oh, so you're not
I've
flying
gotta-
out in like an hour or so?
No, it's tomorrow. It's 11 tomorrow, not today.
Oh, so this time,
Yeah.
about this time tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep.
My bad, dude. I thought you was
No,
like,
good,
I
brother.
thought you was like on the you know, a real strict timeline, and you had to make a flight in a little bit. My bad, dude. I totally misunderstood that.
Yeah. If this time tomorrow, I'll be at the airport. If I'm not there this time tomorrow, I'll be missing my flight. So, yeah. It's good to have a holiday. It's good to get like some time off and like de-stress. But that being said, I'm putting an offering on another house, so I'm gonna try and buy another house. So
Shit.
yeah, so
As an
I'm
investment, or
like,
are you moving?
Do me
well,
this up. I
what
gotta piss real quick.
is the new
I gotta
house?
piss.
We'll move.
I'll be right back. Just talk to him for a minute, man. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be moving into the new house, and then this will be the investment.
Oh, okay. So it's an
But,
upgrade.
yeah. So a 4-bedroom house, nice shed,
Let's
pool,
go.
and all that. But we'll see how we go. Like I'm gonna put an offer, and it's not a guarantee. But yeah, so I thought, while I'm away, trying to de-stress, let's fucking try and buy a new house while I'm away.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So you're looking at property over there.
no. But I'll be over there while I'm trying to organize all this. So.
I see.
Yeah, but it come up because I was just getting like my borrowing power and all that sorted, and just and I was planning to start looking at properties when I get back, but this popped up. It's literally across like just around the corner there.
Oh,
Like you
how's
could kick
that?
a ball from my front yard and land in the backyard. So.
Nice.
And it's exactly what I want. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to try and make it happen. But if it doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world.
Okay. Good luck, brother.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I mean, next live stream as well, I'll be in the Philippines. So there'll be a bunch of, instead of figurines, there'll probably be a bunch of Filipinos behind me.
Yeah. You gotta recreate that scene. Have one of them do a jump kick.
behind.
Yeah. Oh my god. So you seeing the fam.
Yeah, man. It's been
family-in-law.
Been 10 years 9 years since I went over there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been ages, man. I'm just too busy,
What?
It's when you think about it, the amount of actual time that you get with people in life,
What?
Mm,
you gotta
I can't fucking get out the
appreciate it when you
fucking
can.
definitely. It's
You know?
short, man. I mean, if we're lucky,
Going
we
for
get.
a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, if you're
Well, I
lucky.
mean, if you're lucky, you get what, 8 decades, and
Mm.
how quick did the last decade go for you?
Mm.
And if you're lucky, you get 8 of them. And the first
Yeah.
10 you don't really remember, and the last 10 you're probably not going to really remember either. So
the fuck y'all talking about?
Well, it's just kind of commenting on like you spend time with somebody and how much time do you actually get? Like James is going for like a week, maybe. You see the people a few hours a day. You know, even if you see him every day, say you see him 6 hours a day, it's like 30 something hours, 40 hours. Or you see more. You see your coworkers more than that,
mm,
right?
100%.
So I guess it's the quality that creates the memories
Mm.
in the relationship.
I mean,
It's the quantity of time, but
Hey,
the
James, I'm
memories between.
serious, man. Fucking, give me a fucking pen pal, homie.
done deal, brother. I'm sure we can find someone for you. What I was going to say as well is like in life, everything's a sacrifice, like you're always sacrificing something for something else, like I'm at the moment, I'm sacrificing uh, my time with my wife, all this is your time is your most valuable asset as well, because you can't get that back. But at the same time, you have to do something, like you either sacrifice your time to try to build something, or I sacrifice and give all my time to my wife and family, and then I don't build anything, and I don't build any wealth behind me. So you
Yeah,
gotta you get life in gen. I heard a saying, right, and it's like choose your hard, because life's going to be hard either way. So you got to pick which hard you want. So and at the moment, mine is working this fucking job 70 hours a week, and I try not to get stabbed.
oh shit. Hey, I'm
Yo,
gonna tell you this. My phone a while ago said I got 10% left. I can't plug it up right now, so if I dip out on y'all, Luke,
Yeah.
see you, man. Glad you finally showed the fuck up. And then, James, if I don't talk to you tomorrow before you leave, hey, do that. Shoot me a message tomorrow before you get on a plane, just a minute you're leaving. And I'll say a
Yeah.
prayer over you and shit. And
Thanks, well.
yeah, no, safe travels. It's a long trip, 36 hours and shit. So,
Yeah.
anyway,
36.
Yeah. Look,
Sheesh.
I actually well, it's not 36 hours on the plane, but it's
yeah.
I got to fly, then lay over, then I got to fly somewhere else, then I got to drive 4 hours. Like the travels just in general about 36 hours. But I was laughing at I was at work, and I was laughing with one of the girls that worked there, and I'm like, how hilarious would it be if I'd like died in a plane crash? I'm like, finally get time off, and then like crash in a plane.
Oh
You
my
know what
god.
I mean? Oh man, I belly laughed so hard because it's been so long since I've had a holiday, and finally get one and like crash in a plane like that. So
Yeah.
that'd be so funny.
It's
Anyway,
gonna be
I
the
got a
best
dark sense of I got a dark
one
sense of
ever.
humor though.
Gonna be your best vacation ever.
Yeah.
And you're gonna
Well,
come back and your wife's gonna be
I thought-
preggo.
yeah, well, hey man, fingers crossed, eh?
Conceived in a homeland.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
What else?
I think we've lost Kelly, so
Mhm.
it's just us for this one. The Anderson Silva, where Anderson Silva just got paid. He secured a $10.3 million payday from the UFC antitrust settlement.
Wow.
Over 5,000 fighters were eligible for a payout, so and Anderson got the biggest one.
Yo, like he didn't get enough money already.
Well, I mean, whether he didn't or didn't, he just added another cool 10.3 million to his bank account.
So he gets 10 million from the settlement.
Hmm.
And the case was about fighters not getting enough sponsorship money?
I can't remember exactly, but yeah, it was something to do with basically them being underpaid or something. Yeah, but
Okay.
he got 10.3, and I think the minimum one was like 16 grand. But yeah, I remember. I'm pretty sure that might be the same one that Randy Couture and all that, and like Frank Shamrock and all that were trying to do, and Kung Lee. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think it might be still that one, but yeah.
I'm just trying to like put it into words. Like him making that much money was basically them saying, "We owed you this much money because this is how much we made compared to how much we paid out." You know.
Mm.
So hush money.
Again, I don't know the specifics, but I do know that they've got different things in place, so this can't happen again. So these guys got this settlement, but future guys won't be getting any settlement. So, but it worked out good for Anderson, I guess. Fucking $10.3 million. That's a lot of money.
Mind blowing. Does he cut that with anybody? A lawyer? Or does that go all into his pocket?
The lawyers, if I remember, and don't quote me on this, they did it as like the lawyers. Yeah, that's right. They did the case pro bono, and then took a percentage of it. You know what I mean? So, which is fair enough. I mean, yeah, I mean, like, because this has been going for years. So, and that's a lot of time, and they took a risk of not getting paid. So, like, fair enough.
Yeah. Shit. I probably should have jumped on that. I don't know I think I might have just missed the cutoff, but.
Oh, true.
Oh well.
Sorry, brother.
Hey, it's all God's plan.
Mm.
Certain things might look like on paper not a good thing, but you never know. If you like went down that path, something worse could have happened. So it's like when I fought Joe Stevenson, I didn't win the decision, but he had some really tough fights after that, including getting completely the worst, like Crimson Mask from BJ Penn.
Yeah.
So
it's funny you bring up BJ Penn because Ken was saying about how Frank Shamrock did a session with BJ, but didn't realize who BJ Penn was. So this was early BJ Penn with hair, I would imagine. And going off what Ken said, he said BJ lit him up.
Oh, wow.
And then Frank got really upset with his handlers saying, like, his words saying, "Hey, you should have protected him from."
Holy shit. The kid. Kid. That was me the other day at jiu-jitsu. Holy.
Yeah.
What'd they do, MMA?
He didn't specify, man. He didn't specify,
maybe
but
just grappling.
Maybe. I mean, and Eddie would have seen BJ and gone like, "Oh, this little lad, like he'll be easy."
A butterball.
Yeah. He was good in his day, man.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Go on. Sorry.
Complete, like when they call him the prodigy, he really was. Because you look at him, he doesn't appear to be like very athletic, but because he didn't have like a traditional athletic background. It wasn't like playing sports. It was surfing. It was like running in nature, on the beach and stuff like that. So, I think almost like maybe a skateboarder, like that type of where it's athletic but not like structured. And because of his financial situation, his family, whatever, he was able to dedicate 24/7 basically to the lifestyle, have that tremendous explosive growth. Still am big fan of BJ because I believe that, not that he's natural. I think he does have substance abuse problems, but I think that he's one of the only guys that did it, without steroids.
Without test. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I agree. Like, he doesn't have anything specific physically that's massively stands out, other than his flexibility. His
Mm.
flexibility is next level, and I think that obviously helped a lot with his jujitsu.
Hmm.
He's one of them guys that again doesn't have any. It's not like a Francis Ngannou or Woodley, or like has something that they're super explosive, or he's kind of like average. um, but there's something in his mind where he obviously he's built for fighting. Like, he's one of them guys. Like, you would have seen tons of guys like that. That come into the gyms, and they're just natural at it.
Mm.
Like, they just have it. Like,
He's just got that. What is it? The Islander DNA.
yeah. But I mean, he fucked up plenty of other Islanders that they didn't.
True.
I mean, so still an outlier even then.
Mm.
How did you find, like, in your early days, like,
Hmm.
did you find that you were very naturally talented?
Uh, there's levels. There's levels, James. Even like a
Yeah,
black belt in jujitsu might be worlds behind a different like a championship black belt and a
definitely.
normal black belt. It's like white belt versus black belt. That much of a
Yeah,
skill
yeah.
gap. So when I say I was like the best fighter in my kung fu school,
Hmm.
we're talking about almost like a McDojo type of setting
Hmm.
with weekend warriors, 9 to 5ers, soccer moms, a couple of teenagers like me. I had some good scraps. Some guys were good, like my instructors, black belts, and stuff like that were close in my age. And when I got to Longos, he has like some of these light sparring matches at the end of class, like just to play around with you, the guy or girl who's holding pads for you the whole round, the whole night.
Hmm.
So you hold the pads for each other, you do a little light sparring at the end. So that's when Longo saw me, like my fighting or my sparring skill, and because I had experience and I was young, I picked it up quick, and so I started to go with like the better students and then move from the students to the fighters and then start to work actually with the fighters.
Hmm.
Longo said that he knew I was going to be a decent fighter when I got my ass kicked by one of the pros, but then came back. So first of all, I had that like drive, so I didn't quit. I came back, but then I improved, and he saw that
Hmm.
I was able to kind of like figure out almost like a puzzle or a formula or whatever. That was what I think I was good at, where I know if I get hit, if I do this and the person does that, then I know my next move is going to be this type of thing.
Hmm.
And
So your pattern recognition.
probably,
Hmm.
it's not rocket science. They call it the sweet science, boxing, but you don't have to be like a smart person to be a good fighter. And I
Hmm.
think that's why I was decent, is because I'm not a good fighter, but I'm smart enough to figure out how to take the little, like I was saying, the levels. I'm on, I think, on the middle to low end of athleticism, but I
Hmm.
was able to use strategy to emphasize what athleticism I did have and
Hmm.
put it in the right place at the right time.
Hmm. Because I
So
mean, like, you've got like normal intelligence, but then you've got like ring generalship and like ring intelligence, and they are two separate things.
for sure,
Um,
and
uh,
like fighting instinct is another one.
mm,
Like some guys, they just know like how to go for the kill.
BJ Penn,
Hmm.
perfect example for, yeah. Um,
Kimbo is another one I saw. He did something when you get the guy, when you go straight to uppercut, because the straight makes the guy duck, and then the uppercut. I'm like, that's something that you can't actually teach.
Mm.
And if you could, it takes a long time.
Off the same hand, so
Yeah.
through it straight, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
I was impressed with that. Like, oh, damn, this guy's actually like seeing it. He's not just like when somebody gets stunned, and it's always it's a pet peeve of mine. Somebody gets stunned, and the other person like swarms him, but he was so aggressive and like literally falling on the guy that none of the punches are any powerful, and it's just like a lot of punches, and it doesn't look like refined.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like when I see martial arts, I like to see clean technique, executed at the right time. It's like the beauty of the math of the science to put these things in at a certain time, a certain place. But it's the yin yang is dynamic. It's not just black and white. Stuck. It's always changing, the yin yang. That's what the curve is supposed to resemble, a vortex where one is kind of bigger than the other, and then the other one kind of gets bigger, and it's like always changing a dynamic. So technique doesn't always beat raw attributes. Sometimes you get a guy like you just complete savage, and you're looking for your favorite fighter. Like I was disappointed. It was Mr. Perfect Ernesto Hoost, one of the greatest kickboxers of all times, versus Bob Sapp. I was like, oh, this guy, Mr. Perfect, he's gonna, I was like, damn, I was upset watching that because, like I was saying, the raw strength of Bob Sapp was actually able to overcome the perfect technique.
Ernesto Hoost, exactly. Ernesto Hoost is a beast, and Bob Sapp, like if you were to just look at how he throws things, he's not the best. You know what I mean? But the fact that he's just a gigantic man, super explosive, super powerful. Obviously, I mean, maybe not towards the end because it just seemed like everyone knocked him out. But back then, had an iron chin. Like. But to circle back around to what you were saying about like having someone hurt and not giving yourself the space to finish them, where you're like cramping yourself. I specifically remember Matt Serra talking about that very specific thing of when he hurt GSP, that he was very mindful not to give himself the space to get the shots off, and not to like overcommit where you end up just running into a clinch, or you're not giving yourself the space to get shots off properly. So I just thought I'd bring that up because that comes to mind when you said that.
But did he give me credit? Because he told me backstage after my fight, before his fight, backstage, UFC 69, I had not knocked out. I TKO'd Josh Haynes. And there was one point in the match where I think I did a cross hook, and I hit him with the lead hook, and he was like wobbled. But Matt came up to me after the fight, or we were in backstage or whatever. He says, I was watching the fight. I really like how you didn't run after him and you stalked him again. You kept your composure. And you couldn't.
Oh, shit.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Matt.
There we go. A little bit of MMA history right there. That's crazy.
So I deserve a lot of credit for Matt winning the championship. Not only did I show him the game plan, I'm going to get in trouble for this. Not only did I show him how to do it, but I also was there for many sessions for him to practice that overhand right on my head that he knocked out GSP with, and Frank Tragan, whoever else. But he also taught me a lot of jiu-jitsu that saved my life, so we're even.
Yeah.
Just give me the credit. Tell the people that Master Lukey showed you how to beat GSP. Tell Master Lukey. Tell the people that Master Lukey showed you how to be a champion.
Oh, I'm sure he would love saying that.
Matt's the type of guy though that after all these years, we'd probably get in the same room and just be like old days.
Yeah.
You know, which is him teasing everyone.
Yeah, he seems like he'd be a lot of fun to be around.
For sure.
Just
It was a great team.
easygoing, funny,
Great times.
definitely funny.
For sure.
Talks about pizza a lot. Did he eat as much pizza as he talks about eating pizza, or?
Let's see. So Matt's definitely the guy who puts on weight in between fights. He's not the guy to stay in fighting shape. He loves to eat. You know, it's like I guess Italian American culture.
Mm.
You know, family style. You know, family style is where you sit at the table. It's just an enormous plate in the middle. Everybody takes. You know, the different dishes.
Mm.
That changes you growing up, especially when you bring up pizza. There's hormones in the dairy that are for a baby animal to grow, and as my theory, causes the digestive organs to grow. And so there's the addictive aspect of the food. It turns off your natural ability to register when you have enough nutrients. All these addictive and junk and highly processed foods, you don't eat until you get enough nutrients. You eat until your stomach is so stretched you can't eat anymore. And so the body has this adaptive process. And my theory is that as we grow and we're eating this stuff, it actually makes the gut grow and changes the microorganisms in there. So now it's a very difficult process to kind of get back your function and not be addicted to the foods. Because, you know, the gluten in the dough and the casein in the cheese, these are two indigestible proteins that attach to receptor sites in the human body for opiates.
For what, sir?
Opiates. The casein and the gluten, it causes your bodies to release endorphins and get addicted.
True.
And it's a 3-day long withdrawal. So you might notice if you're watching at home, give yourself 3 days from the last time you ate a piece of bread, pasta, something with wheat dough in it, or cheese, or milk, or dairy, something like that, and see if you can make it past that 3-day mark.
Without, getting
Because
severe
that's
cravings.
about how. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's severe cravings, but we don't even think about these. We just kind of like go on about our day, our normal life, and we go, oh, get a sandwich, I'll get a milkshake. It's like, oh, you don't even think of what it is.
Yeah.
Then 10, 20, 30, 40 years down the line, you end up with a condition that was just kind of like a long-term piling on of a silt type of thing. And all of a sudden, you know, you have these symptoms, but you can reverse the aging process. You can do like Brian Johnson, that tech millionaire who's got a body of a 20-something, 30-something year old, and he's like in his 50s. You don't have to have $1 million to do that. You just have to learn what's actually natural for a human to eat. Give yourself time to heal up. And if anybody wants to learn more about that, I'd love to help you out. That's my kind of pivot from fighting into natural healing.
Yeah.
You know?
Is that how you end up with like gut problems like that, diverticulitis and all that, where it wears out inside your intestines and stuff like that?
Yeah, the diverticula is a balloon, basically. So it gets so stretched that the tissue like stretches and gets thin and weak, and then so when it gets crammed in there, it pushes and you get like a pocket,
Mm.
and shit is sitting there, and you can actually die from that. So their solution to that is to cut it out, but it's not going to fix the situation, which is like a drying out of the stool, so you can't push. It's just like a rock in there.
Mm.
Constipation. You know, if you think of how many times you eat during the day, how many times do you poop during the day?
Mm.
If it's not equal, and even beyond that, if you don't rid the body of that snail's trail, that slime, which is called the false lining, that itself will build up over time and reduce absorption of nutrients. You can get a condition even if you think you're eating healthy just because you haven't done any cleansing. This
Yeah.
is kind of like advanced science, because we're still in the age, James, where just like the UFC, they don't want to tell you the side effects of ultimate fighting. We're just going to look at the champion and the belt.
Mm.
We're going to look at the exciting matches, but we're going to quickly turn the camera away when the person was laying there on the floor with blood all over their face, and the doctors are wondering, how they're going to save this person's life. We're not going to show that on the camera. We're going to focus on the champion,
Mm.
and we're going to rake in money because people are subscribing to Paramount now, or whatever company is selling UFC, and then you're gonna get
Paramount,
your
yeah.
favorite. You're gonna get your favorite fighter's shirt. You're gonna get the shorts to wear to the gym. It says
Mm.
UFC on it, and everybody's just making money, but they're not going to tell you about the 30 other people that could be beat. We're only going to see Khabib. We're only going to see GSP. We're only going to see John Jones and Mount Rushmore, but we're not going to see the hundreds of people who didn't make it. And what happens to them? Are they okay? Is anybody
Mm.
following up? Does anybody follow up with you once you leave the hospital, you leave your doctor's office, you got your prescription, you got your surgery, but then, uh, you know, 6 months later, 5 years later, 10 years later, you got side effects.
Mm.
Holy shit. It's like, who's actually caring that the product is good for you?
Yeah.
If the product is UFC and Timmy is looking up to who's the best fighter right now? Marab. We'll use Marab as
We'll go.
an
Yeah. All right. We'll go with Marab.
old little
Sounds good.
Dagestani kids. Oh, Marab is so cool. Islam, my hero. I want to get into wrestling so I can be like them one day. So you got a gym that Hamzat just built. Looks like you fit 50 kids in there easy. 50 kids looking up to Hamzat. I want to be like him.
Mm.
He's so cool. He's so big and strong. Nobody could hurt him. I get picked on as a kid, so I want to be like Hamzat. Oh, but Hamzat, he's kind of young still. He's gonna have definitely injury when he gets older. He might actually have mental problems getting older, because he says he's gonna kill everybody in the ring.
Mm.
Okay, so that's just gives you a kind of like a window into how his mind works. You understand? He's
Yeah.
he's not talking about athleticism, right?
Well, I mean, that's part of the sport, like, I mean, unfortunately, like, however you want to frame it, I mean, like, it is a self-defense thing, but at the same time, sometimes the best self-defense is finishing them before they can finish you, like, and like you said, a lot of kids see this and then they get bullied and they're like, I don't want to be bullied anymore. I want to be like that person. I mean, I think, like I always champion your your league, I think it's great. I think there's definitely people out there that will be definitely keen on that. But
Nice.
you're always going to have that people as well that are going to want the full violence. You know what I mean? I just think it's part of human nature. And not only, there's two different ways to look at it, right? Because like what you're saying is you want to make it more of a sport, more safer for people, and more humane. Where the full mixed martial arts or boxing or anything like that, the like the risks and the outcome are so high, and when it's real combat, so if someone was to attack you on the street, these are the real things that are going to be best to defend yourself against that person. So they're both great, and like I always say, man, I love your idea. I think it's great, but they're different. You know what I mean?
It's a different sport.
It's different sport. That's right.
The sport that I love, I love it so much, and I love the people that have such a community around bettering oneself. You have a father figure or a mother figure who owns the gym, and you could, most places, get a key. If you're a good person, if you contribute to the gym, you can get a key. Make sure you clean up, put everything back. If not, you go in while the gym's open, and you literally have a place where people will help you improve your life. But
Yeah, there's
something sneaky, like in Lord of the Rings, when the worm tongue got in the ear of the king, and he told him, let's get these people to fight each other and make money. I don't know if that was the right voice. But regardless of any of that, the thing that I think is really where Master Lukey's league shines is that it's logical and based on math. So if you have two superstars, but only one is going to win, you have half your superstars. But now you have WWE. Well, we could ask Kelly about this next time. I know it looks like you guys been on for a while, so I'm going to let you go. But if you have two superstars, but one is the heel, one is the face, one is the fan favorite, one is the anti-hero, one is the hometown hero, one is the the bad guy or whatever, the boring champion, the up and coming striker or whatever. You always got one that's like maybe a little bit more fan favorite than the other, but you need this guy to root for this guy. If you don't have a bad guy, you don't have a good guy. Right? So the problem that I see people complain about with UFC is that there's a really good card and then there's a shit card. Because they don't know the fighters. Because their favorite fighters have to take at least 6 months off even when they win. Because they're so banged up. And not just the fights themselves, but the way people train, because they're training for actually killing somebody. They're not thinking of like a bodybuilding type approach or a sports type approach. Some of them are a sports type of approach where you have a training log with measurable progression. So you probably know this. You said you had your training logs, right? You did this much weight, this many reps, blah, blah, blah. All that can be done for sports, for MMA, for fighting techniques. But you're not going to get that now because who's in charge? People who don't care. People who aren't martial artists, they're actually boxers. Believe it or not, if you look at how UFC went mainstream, They went through the boxing commission. They still are technically, operating under that system with the 10-point must, the gloves,
Yeah.
but no other equipment. And I just know, and unfortunately, it's only a matter of time.
Mm.
But I just hope that one day, whether it's Master Lukey's League of Champions or some other safer rule set,
Mm.
we'll be able to see matches like a normal sport. You have your favorite team every week.
Mm.
You can have a sparring match. You can spend the week practicing, just like
Mm.
football. You got your Sunday game, whatever, Saturday, Sunday, Monday game. You spend the week practicing, improve, have another game.
Mm.
And in that way, it's a lifelong progression, a lifelong uh, improvement of skill, of self. And to me, that it really is the spirit of Bushido, to respect your training partner or your sparring partner as
Mm.
yourself, because like with the heel in the face, you need that other person in martial arts
Mm.
to kind of bounce off of. Just like I'm sure if you have a training partner, it's workout's always going to be better. You just push each other and
Definitely.
feed off each other's energy, kind of like
When
the
you
body.
when you look to start a like or to do a like a, a match, a competition, a show,
Mhm.
maybe you could reach out to someone like Matt, or some of the, you have history with some of these people.
Yeah.
Maybe they could get involved. You know what I mean? Like, because they're not going to take any real damage. Like going off what you're saying, and then just you can promote it. Try to get some younger people, on the undercard, and then just you know, start off with a show and then see where it goes, like I think that'd be a good way. Yeah, like be you and Matt as the main event.
Hey yo.
Yeah, yeah. No headshots, like
I'd like to get Matt
Master.
actually as a commentator.
Yeah, well, yeah, just like someone like him, and like, and then just and say like, like what you were just saying there about you're wanting to take it back to the more traditional style of martial arts, and just yeah, just for the love of the martial arts without the violence.
Yeah, I mean, as much as you can, right?
Yeah.
It's still, at the end of the day, it's fighting. People get hurt in jiu-jitsu, but being in the game
Mm.
for the amount of time that I have been, I saw it and I see it in a different way. So look, I love Matt. He's always going to be my coach and like my older brother in the game.
Yeah.
But he doesn't look at it from a promoting standpoint. Great fighter, great coach. Very
Mm.
rare to get those two together.
Mm. That's
But
true.
I'm bringing in the third aspect, which is the promoting, and the fourth aspect, which is the branding as a
Mm.
system, as a ranking system, as a teaching system.
But that, just to interject, you have branding already. Like your Master Lukey, you know, he has that. All you guys have branding. Like you are all well known. So that gives you such an advantage in trying to do what you want to do, to try to build this league with
Mm.
who you are already. You already have credibility, and other people as well.
Right.
So that also have credibility. So, I mean, you could just, I mean, they might not be, some will be interested, some won't, but you could just say, hey, I'm looking to put this together, blah, blah, blah. And then when in the future, when you do want to put a show on, I'm happy to chuck a bit of money to help donate, and, get a bit of like a show on, like I'm keen to see it, like one step at a time, but we're
All right,
definitely gonna make it happen.
I'm gonna hold you to that because
Yeah,
I want to
man.
do
I'm a
something
man of my word, man.
with
I'm
this
a man of
site.
my word.
I
Yeah.
want you to help me with the site, getting it to be not just a show, but a digital
Mm.
experience. So like
Yeah.
you're over there, you got people in
Mm.
Europe, South America. I mean, everybody's got to be able to tune in
Mm.
and contribute, like with their scores, the scoring
Yeah.
system. So I'm glad you're into it, man.
Yeah, man. 100%. I appreciate your idea with it. I'm down with it 100%. I mean, for me personally, I still love boxing. I love UFC. I love the karate combat. I love all of it outside of the slap fighting because that's
Yeah.
retarded. But I mean, I love this as well. I think it's great. Like I could definitely see an avenue for this, and
Right.
like we were saying before, man. Like you have this in your mind, you need to see it through. Like whether it goes somewhere real far or not, it doesn't matter. Like it's in here. You need to do at least a couple of shows, and then like you can be like, hey man, like I had a vision, and I did the best I could with it. And like you said, even if it doesn't go the way you want, maybe someone in the future will
Yeah.
follow on from Master Lukey's league. You
Yeah.
set the path for the future people.
Yeah. Lay the groundwork down.
Yeah, that's right.
I always believed it was a spiritual mission, and
Yeah.
if I'm not the one that gets to bring it to the mainstream, then I have to consider that to be part of God's plan. But I also I believe everything happens for a reason, James, and I believe that part of this spiritual mission was an external uh, devotion to the world, giving this path, this way, like somebody who comes to the gym. I'm giving them something. I'm giving the teacher is giving you a way to improve yourself.
Mm,
So, but the yin yang is what's as above, so below. So that me devoting this to the world also gets something in return, which is hopefully meeting
mm,
all awesome people that are into this community where we see martial arts, we see training, we see sports in
yeah.
the greater picture of uh, self improvement or community and things that we can look up to these athletes for, not for
Mm,
physical
definitely.
violence, but for dedication,
Mm,
health in general. For your fitness and your nutrition,
mm.
and yeah, being a good
I
example.
don't.
Get on the Wheaties box.
I mean, I always looked up to all you guys and appreciated you guys, but it's not just because I appreciated seeing you hurt someone else. It's because I understand how fucking difficult it is to do what you're doing,
Mhm.
and the skill it takes to do it, and the fact that you can do that to another trained athlete,
Mm,
it really says about like your ability to protect yourself. And as men find that appealing because it's so important, because for most men they're going to be a head of a household, and once you're a head of a household, it's your job to protect all the people in the household. And your ability to do what you do in the UFC, it speaks to men because it shows that you can protect the people in your household. So it goes like, and like that's it's just separate to like the your sport, that what you're talking about, which also gives you a lot of the same skill sets. You want to do the same thing, but you want to make it safer for the athletes, so everyone makes money, everyone has longevity, and people don't have to fucking end up like Gary Goodrich, like you mentioned
mm,
about before, which I
mm,
can 100% appreciate. But I'm just saying, on the flip side, like devil's advocate wise, this is why
yeah.
a lot of people love and appreciate these sports. Is it's not just because, oh, we want to see blood. It's not that. It's like there's more involved in that. You know what I mean?
Mm. It's a good take,
Thanks, man.
and the proof is in the if it picks up, if people actually, like you're saying, kind of like resonate with the raw nature of it, where it's like
Mm,
protection, and
mm,
maybe it will be kind of like let's see, an underground sport. Maybe it won't go mainstream at first,
mm.
but yeah, it's definitely worth a shot, like you said. So
Definitely, 100%.
appreciate you, bro. And you
Appreciate you
you
too,
you
bro.
you um you do a great job, in not just your 70-hour work week, but how you put together the podcast. I'm impressed, brother.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Hope you have a great vacation. And so next week, what are we doing? This again, or is it going to be live stream?
It'll be the same live stream. It'll be like usual, not a day behind like this, but just like we usually do it. But instead of these figurines behind me, I'll probably have a whole bunch of animals behind me.
So wait, we're live now, or this is pre-recorded?
No. Yeah, we're live, brother. We're live.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
What's up,
we're
guys?
live.
Any comments?
I had one from me earlier. It was just one of my work colleagues. He just said, "Hey, have an awesome trip, brother. Remember, relax, enjoy your trip. Send us many deadly pics for all of us who'll probably never leave Oz." So that was from Rob. That last night was our last shift together. So
Nice.
He was there actually when that guy tried to stab me recently. He grabbed him up high, and then which was good because when he slashed me and I moved back, it was that's why I got a lot of respect for Rob, because if he did nothing, I was in a precarious position. But the fact that he went behind, grabbed him up, I could shoot back in, and we got him down and got the knife off of him. But I've had plenty of other guys that would have fucking frozen up, and then I would have been like front on with a guy with a knife, and that's the last thing you ever want. Because I've been in that position before. That's why I shot in, because I didn't want him to get it out on me. But he got it out quick. So when I shot in for a double leg, he slashed me, and like I mentioned before, it slashed me across the wrist. But he got it out pretty quick. But yeah. Anyway, I went on a ramble, but yeah, you get what I'm saying.
W, Rob.
Yeah, W for Rob. Thanks, brother. Yeah, you saved me ass at that.
Wow. You saved your life, probably, maybe.
Yeah, could have. I mean, I always said I will be the first one to get stabbed. I'll get stabbed eventually. And like technically I already have. It was just like a small stabbing though, you know what I mean? Nothing serious. But yeah.
That was enough. Oh my god. Don't fight anybody in the Philippines with a knife. They're the specialists.
I try to play low key. I try not to draw any attention to myself, especially in a foreign country. And but it should be all good.
Knock on wood. Come home safe and sound, and we'll catch you on the next one. How's that?
Thanks, fella. I appreciate it. All right, man.
All right, lads. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, and thank you, Master Lukey, for jumping
James.
on. Always appreciate you, brother. Thanks, man.
Same. All right, we'll talk
see
soon.
you next time. No worries.